Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomik.
And he's back, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself.
Jimmy Parks.
We missed you, Jimmy.
Missed you guys.
Oh, Jimmy.
I didn't even get to listen to the episode last week. I'm like terrible.
Fake.
We had a theory as to why you would not listen.
You had an entire week to listen to a 1 hour podcast.
I know. And you know what? I had a few drives where I could have listened to it too, but I opted to listen to music instead.
How was your shopping trip last week?
My shopping trip?
Yeah, you went shopping last week.
It was great. I went.
Oh, it was great, huh? Yeah, how did you tell us about it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you hang out with like any other people from Jersey who tend to make podcasts or videos?
I did. I hung out with you last weekend.
Not me, Jimmy. Last Thursday when we filmed.
No, I did not.
Josh, I don't know, man.
Everybody
kind of sounds suspicious.
Well, Josh thought last week that maybe the reason you weren't here with us is because you were trying to find a new podcast to be a part of.
You know what? I was actually with a decent amount of news media last Thursday. Yeah. So, I was shopping around a little bit.
You might leave to the networks.
Yeah, I might go to big network television.
News 12.
Dang it.
I met this guy from ABC 7. I forget his name now, but I've been like seeing him on TV for years, and it was kind of a surreal experience.
What
did you shake his hand?
Oh, hold on, I can find him in a second.
Alan Krasinski?
No.
Mark Brown?
No.
David Ono?
No.
Lee Goldberg?
No, I wish it was Lee Goldberg. That'd
John
be
Patrick?
huge.
Josh, you know your newscasters, man.
Yeah, that was just off the top of my head.
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson.
Who's that?
Good guy.
ABC?
Yeah.
See Big Shot?
Yeah, he's the New Jersey correspondent for ABC 7.
Oh, Johnson.
Dude, what if he brings Jimmy on as an intern and Jimmy actually leaves us?
It'd be good. I'd be happy to let him. I don't want to clip his wings. Let him fly away.
I just got to say, like last week, Jimmy, I really missed you. I had to take notes. My notes were horrendous. The editing was just so tough because I just can't take notes like you. You're gifted, man. So I just don't want you to leave. I really don't want you to leave.
I have no plans on leaving.
You better
ever.
Not. You know you're not allowed to leave.
I love the Garden State.
Even if you try leaving, we wouldn't let you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're locked in. That's what your contract says. That's what you signed.
Wow. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Garden State podcast. As you just could tell, there was a little bit of family drama going on. Jimmy was out last week, but we're back.
It's not okay.
Hey, it wasn't my fault. I wanted to be here, but
he was working, right? Working.
Yep, I was working.
Unreal.
You guys sound like a married couple right now.
Well, you guys know, like I'm not going to be here in
because you're going to be working.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going on tour with a band, and I'm gone for like 6 weeks. So there's going to be some episodes where I'm remote, but then there's going to be some episodes where I am back home, and then there's other episodes where you guys are going to bring on a guest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I got a whole list of guests. I think I'm going to just surprise Sobo. He's not going to know who the guest is until
who are you going to bring on?
I'm not going to spoil
Anthony Johnson.
I've been talking to some people.
Good.
That's all you need to know.
It's going to be weird if you're sitting next to Josh that week.
I'm not going to be sitting next to Josh that week. I'm going to be in this normal spot.
Oh yeah, true. That's when
there's guests. Yeah,
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Right, if there is a week where we don't have a guest, I might sit next. Well, at least when you're on.
When I'm remote,
yeah, I'm going to be sitting next to Josh.
You're going to be in my
really,
seat.
really weird.
It's going to be very odd. Big shoes to fill, Jim.
Yeah,
big shoes to fill. It's not easy sitting in front of the camera.
He's a size 13.
I'm a size 13.
Oh, you guys are match made in heaven.
What's
then.
your shoe size? You're like an 8.
Are you kidding me? I'm like an 11 and a half, I think.
Really?
I'm in the same world. Nikes are 12. Every other shoe is 11 and a half.
You're one of those guys that wears shoes that are 3 sizes too big for him.
Dude,
there's
honestly,
no way you're a size 12.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Why would you doubt my shoe size?
I don't know. It's a big foot.
Big foot for a big man.
Nice. Well, welcome back, everybody. Hey guys, what'd you guys do this weekend? What'd you get into? Anything interesting?
Actually, yeah. Chomik and I
it's a
and
great
our
weekend.
friend Nate from the band Arizona, we went on a little diner tour.
Oh, yeah.
We went down to the Vincenttown Diner.
Which I didn't realize Guy Fieri put his full name on over this place. Like you
Yeah.
walk in and there's a cardboard cut of Guy Fieri in there.
Wow.
He's been there from Diners, Drives, and Dives. I didn't know that until we got there.
Yep.
So we weren't there for the guy, like the guy hype, but
He's
apparently
been there twice now.
yeah, and the episode that is going to air from the newest episode is going to be on
This Friday.
this Friday. So tonight, if you're listening when this releases.
What did you get, Cho? Because you got like what his pick was.
I got what Guy got in the newest episode. It's called the beef. Oh, what was it, Jimmy? It was like a really tough name. I got this beef platter. It was like pasta with beef on top. Guy got it in the newest episode. He was raving about it apparently. So, got to watch the review to see how I felt about it. Honestly, I think I'm just waiting for the episode to come out so I could see what Guy says first.
Yeah.
I want to see his experience. I'm going to release our diner review probably Saturday or Sunday.
Nice.
But dude, it like won best diner in 2022 in Jersey or something.
Which is
like a-
recent. I
looks
feel like
like
you go to a lot of these spots and it's like best diner like 1998.
It looks like a really nice diner. They just redid it.
Yeah.
That's
not
what
too
I'm
long
confused
ago.
about too. The outside does not match the inside.
Oh, is the inside like dated?
It feels more dated
Yeah.
inside. It's just the outside they made it modern. Like, why do that to a diner? Look at the old sign, Josh. Go back to that. Is that it? Look how much cooler the old retro Vincenttown Diner restaurant sign looks.
Yeah, nobody. See,
Why do you kill that?
the issue is
What's with these modern? Everyone wanted to go modern. It's awful.
the issue is we live in a culture that doesn't understand good design. That's really
This
what
is
it comes
true.
down to. So anybody can do anything. I think we should make laws about what you're allowed to do to your house. Literally, I know I'm a pretty do what you want kind of person, but I see towns like the neighborhood I grew up in was all these little Sears Roebuck houses from
Yep.
the 1950s, little brick houses. People are blowing these cute little Cape Cods up into these ugly looking monstrosities. And I just sit there like anybody, it's amazing that we just let anybody do whatever they want. Like remember in like, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Like, I don't know. It's just some people don't understand what looks aesthetically beautiful and like historic sections of towns, you're not allowed to paint your house and stuff. We should do that with everything.
I was going to say, doesn't Cape May have something like that? Like you're not
May,
allowed to do
yeah, I'm
certain
sure.
things?
I think there's parts of a lot of towns. I think even lots of local towns. Like there's even particular homes that are so old that the historic society has said, hey, you can like paint it, but it has to be this color scheme. There's a Victorian house in Cranford that was painted a few years ago, and they painted it this like really interesting color scheme.
Wait, I was about to ask you, is that the blue house?
Blue house.
There's that really bright blue house like around the corner.
No, that's like you're talking about the one by where how would you get there from here?
You
That ugly blue house?
Yeah, the really ugly blue house.
Dude, that house is like built in the 70s.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, so what if you lived in a neighborhood and that house was next to yours? Like, they never like
No, I'm
painted
saying
it.
the town should say, paint your house normal color. This is not, listen, I have to live next to you. Make your house look nice.
Oh, so I thought you were saying the opposite. Like, the town shouldn't tell people what to do.
No, I'm saying typically in the world of politics, I'm kind of do whatever you want kind of person. But when it comes to your house, I mean, you should have to like follow some sort of building standards where your house doesn't look completely obnoxious.
That's why I want to
Like
live.
there's a house in my parents' neighborhood that they blew up into like from a little Cape Cod into this mansion on like 1/10 of an acre. And they put stucco all over it, so it's like an Italian like masterpiece.
Fire.
And it just doesn't fit in with anything. You're like, why? Like, why would you do that? It doesn't look right. So I don't know. I just
That's why I want to live on a farm, like secluded from everyone. And then I can really paint my house like that bright blue I like.
So back to your point about the Vincenttown Diner, I agree. This diner had a beautiful neon sign, great typeface on Vincenttown,
Yeah.
great old script, and they put in this like
Terrible.
really bad sign. But hey, look, teach his own. How was the experience overall at the Vincenttown Diner? Was it good?
No wait, really?
No. Yeah,
There was a wait, but it was quick.
Yeah. We were in and out. It was a quick lunch. It was a good time. I don't want to give away too much.
But then after that, we went
Jimmy,
to
tell the viewers or listeners what we did because it was actually pretty epic.
we went to the Evergreen Dairy Bar, and on our way there, I said, "Hey, did you know that the Evergreen Dairy Bar was in the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Knock at the Cabin?" And our friend Nate like kind of freaked out. He's like, "No way! M. Night Shyamalan's like my favorite director of all time." And I was like, "Oh, do you want to go to the cabin?"
I see dead people.
So I made a phone call to someone I know, and it just so happens the cabin from that movie was built on his property.
Wow.
So we took a little drive and got to see the cabin and
It
go
was
inside
so
the cabin.
cool.
Was it creepy?
It was awesome. It's like my dream home.
Really?
It's gorgeous, this cabin.
Does anyone live in it or is it just on his property?
Nope. So it was built specifically for the movie. And it's actually kind of sad because
Oh my gosh. What's up with what's going on outside?
there's like sirens.
Let's just pause
like
for a
crazy.
second. All right.
Jeez, someone got killed outside or something. Continue, Jimmy.
So it's really sad actually because they built this cabin with no intention of it lasting. So they didn't like do the foundation with like pressure treated wood or anything.
Oh, wow.
So it would only last like 5 years. So they're actually tearing it down this summer.
It's so sad.
So M. Night Shyamalan filmed a movie in New Jersey.
Yep.
Oh, it looks really cool inside. Wow, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's like the fireplace is all fake. It's
So where what town was this in, or what area was this in?
This is Burlington County.
Okay, cool.
But what was really, really awesome afterwards, we watched the trailer of the movie
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, I was standing there. Oh, we did this there.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Do you guys? We should have a movie night and watch it.
I know. I really want to check it out now.
A lot of movies being shot in New Jersey, and M. Night Shyamalan. That's a legend of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense. What else did he do?
A lot.
Signs.
A lot.
Signs. Wow.
And they said like the whole cast and crew, everyone was down to support local business in those small towns where they
Yep.
shot. So that was like really cool. Everyone was on board. So really dope stuff.
Cool. So we'll get that diner review soon. And then Sunday, when you guys came back, we actually all met up at the Arboretum, which is a flower place off Route 24 in Summit, New Jersey. And it was just lovely. It was a lovely evening.
Yeah, Josh called. He was just like, hey, golden hour, let's shoot some pics. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
And we did it.
And June was there.
June made it.
It was so cool seeing June, although she was sleeping.
That's what she does.
This kid just sleeps.
Unless it's nighttime. Then she doesn't sleep. It's amazing.
Have you been sleeping better?
We were doing amazing until 3 days ago. And then now she does this thing where she wakes up every 45 minutes. Like 3 nights in a row, we've been doing 45 minutes.
I mean, visibly, you look way more rested than the past few times that I've seen you.
Thank you.
So
I feel a little bit tired today, but I'm just accepting that this is my reality now. So I've just kind of plowing through.
just getting used to it.
Yeah, and one day I'll roast her about it. But for now, it's like, it's hard to, I don't know, you get frustrated. Then I look at her and I'm like, she's a little baby. In the morning time, the craziest thing, she's all night, she's like going wild. And in the morning, she's so sweet. She just looks at you and I'm like, man, you have no idea. But one day I'm going to roast her
So
when she's old enough to understand.
for the listeners who don't know, Josh, you come from a rather large family. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
3 brothers and 4 sisters.
How do you, like, now that you're a parent and you're going through this with June, like, how do you think your parents did it with all of your brothers and sisters?
I think they just weren't soft.
Yeah.
They just were like, whatever. I mean, it's hard. I think it's hard for everybody, but I think
Well, I guess, could you imagine going through this 8 more times?
I could do it. I think I'm going to go 4 more times.
Okay.
I'm going to have a big fan. I think I'm going to have at least 5 kids. Not at least, at most 5 kids, we'll say.
Better buy some merch, everyone.
Yeah, if you want to support the not only the podcast but my family, buy some merch. No, I mean, yeah, it's a sacrifice, but you know what the thing is? It's like it's a short period of time, and then she's gonna be like, you know,
real human.
every period of life is gonna come with challenges. Obviously, she'll be a toddler and teething, and then potty training, and then a teenager that doesn't like me anymore, and like, yeah, there's always gonna be something, but I don't know. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know, my bloodline being carried forth is kind of cool. You know. Something that one day you guys will get to experience. But for now, hey, it's just me in this room.
Well, Jimmy's offering his exclusive babysitting service to you on this coming weekend. If you and Shelby want a night out, Jimmy can actually watch the baby for you.
No, please, no.
You
I don't trust myself with a child, let alone your child.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you meet her.
okay? Well, I'll consider it. And I'll let you know. Before we get into the news, we want to remind you that we have merch at thegardenstate.com. If you are looking for clothing, you're naked right now. You need a new t-shirt. You need a new hat, a hoodie.
Get some clothes on.
Or a keychain. You keep losing your car keys. Go over to thegardenstate.com. Buy yourself a little piece of merch. It's the best way to support this podcast. Yeah, so get on it.
Get on over there.
Hey guys, you want to check out the mailbag and see what's been going on inside of it?
Yeah.
So last week we had a story where we talked about a student with special needs who bit a teacher, and then the teacher held the students by his ankles upside down for 15 seconds.
Crazy.
We were just going back and forth on like, okay, what is the procedure in a situation like this? And we got a phone call that you guys can listen to from someone that actually knows exactly what to do. So let's see what she said.
908 67 99 99 3.
Hi, Garden State. My name's Colleen. I'm from Hamilton, New Jersey. So I heard you guys talking last week on your podcast about special needs classrooms and what you do in response to crisis situations. So I'm actually a behavior specialist. I'm a master's level. So I've worked with kids and with adults. So what you guys were thinking is sort of right in a sense. So there are ways to respond to these situations if they are becoming aggressive, but the first one is distance. Your best bet is to not even make contact. So if the individual is, getting aggressive, back up, move something in between you. There are ways to do that and to verbally de-escalate the situation. When you have little kids, it's a little different. There are different tactics than there are with adults. But those bear hugs that you were talking about, those can be used, but everyone is really specifically trained on how to use those. I'm actually one of the state trainers for that. So the technique is very specific. You have to test for it, and everyone needs to see that you're doing it very properly. And everything is meant to disengage and restrain without causing injury. It's all equal and opposite pressure. I don't want to go into too much detail unless you guys really want it, but the idea of restraining is a thing, but it's really specific. It's very much state mandated by New Jersey, and you have to pass yearly training for it. And there's a lot of documentation that follows. So you guys were on the right track, but I did want to let you know that, that's how some of those things go. If any of you guys want any more information on any of that, feel free to give me a call. My number is, or you can try, no, do that one. Okay, thanks, bye.
Awesome mailbag.
Yeah, very insightful. That's what we always ask for, is for people to call in with some info. So thank you.
Yeah, we don't know half the things we're talking about. So having a pro like that call in, that's super helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Colleen. I mean, I guess that makes sense. All of what you say makes sense. And it's got to be challenging to be a teacher of special needs students.
It takes a special somebody to do that. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, me neither. It'd be
I was right with the bear hug, though. Remember, I was like, what if you just gave him a nice little bear hug and just held him tight? But she said everyone's trained differently with the bear hug technique. So I guess you got to really be specific on how you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out to all the teachers out there. That's not an easy job.
No,
I can't imagine trying to teach kids, and that's pretty cool that people are out there doing it. So thank you guys for your service. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And I should have lined up our stories right, because we have a story. Actually, do you want to start off with that story?
Yeah, let's just go right into it, man.
Since we're on the topic of teachers, I read something this week that kind of blew my mind, I'm not going to lie. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of scary. There's just something happening in New Jersey that we got to talk about. Sorry, that wasn't appropriate. I just love pressing those buttons.
That's great.
All right, let's get into this first story. New Jersey's Department of Education has released testing scores showing that the vast majority of third graders in Newark, New Jersey cannot read.
Didn't we learn how to read in third grade?
No, you learn how to read
before that.
It's younger, right?
Kindergarten, yeah.
Okay, I forgot when
I think when I was in kindergarten, I remember reading a book, a couple pages on a book.
Yeah. So you're saying third graders in Newark can't read?
No, it's really, really, really bad.
Got to wrap my head around this. That's crazy.
So this is actually, I found this through Tap Into. It says, in Newark's Rafael Hernandez School in the North Ward, only 3 third graders out of 50 passed a state reading exam. At Hawkins Street School in the East Ward, the numbers were 4 out of 54 third graders. And at Avon Avenue School in the South Ward, it was 2 out of 61 for a third grade proficiency rate. There was 3%. Third grade scores recently released by the New Jersey Department of Education suggest a dire literacy problem in each of Newark's wards. Only 19% of the city's third graders passed last year's state reading exam. The performance was the lowest of any grade in Newark. At 9 Newark schools, the percentage of third graders passing the English exam was in the single digits. For all grades, Newark's literacy passing rate was 27% last year.
Wow.
So there's a quote here, scary is how Ronald Chalushin, I said his last name wrong, executive director of Newark's Trust for Education, described the third grade scores. When we think of the long-term success of our kids and we think about what they need to be getting, it's very scary. These scores must raise our sense of urgency about the crisis we are facing in education, says Vivian Cox Frazier, the president and CEO of the Urban League of Essex County. Students who are not reading at grade level by the end of third grade are more likely to struggle academically in subsequent years, which can have long-term consequences for their educational and career prospects. So this is a real issue. You know, I have a family member that's a third grade teacher, and we both, when I read this story, me and Josh both looked at each other like, how old do you learn to read, right? Like we were kind of talking about it. And I was like, I think it's kindergarten. But I called this person and she was like, if you're not reading in third grade, that's typically they begin testing for other learning disabilities. And I don't think all these kids have learning disabilities. I think it's just a failure on families, on teachers, administrators, and on families to adequately help kids learn how to read.
It's very scary, dude.
Yeah,
Thinking about like, that's our future. That's the future. And these kids can't read in third grade, man. I feel bad.
It's really, really sad. And, you know, this goes back to the article we talked about a while ago where Newark was offering crazy salaries for teachers to come out of retirement to teach because they need teachers. We have a teaching shortage in the state. And at the same time, our population continues to climb, right? We talk about the apartments all the time, apartment buildings being built everywhere. This is something we're going to see a lot more of. We have a teaching shortage in New Jersey. And this is a crisis. We always say on the Garden State podcast, we want to back the kids, right? And this is a great example of how, as a state, we are failing the next generation. And I don't only blame the state. I'm going to be fair here because I don't think it's the state's responsibility solely for your kid to get educated. This is where I'll stand on my soapbox. Somebody left a review on our podcast. You know, they always stand on a political soapbox. No, this is where I will say. It is the role of not only the schools, but of families and parents to help their kids get through the educational process. You know, you can give a kid homework, and if they go home and there's not a parent saying, "Hey, you know, let's work on that reading," then you know what? If there's not a high value being placed on it, then it's not going to work out. And also, if classrooms are horrendous, which is what we hear about a lot of these schools where kids just do not listen to teachers, even at a young age, it's bad. Then yeah, you know, people are not going to learn how to read. And it's a time for us to reflect as a culture and go, what can we do to fix this? It's a real issue.
You said 3% passed the test.
It said it was 2 out of 61 for a third grade. So that was 3% was at Avon Avenue School in the South Ward.
It's so interesting because that's a huge number of kids who failed. You got to think it has to be a majority. I feel like that's a more of a teacher problem because that's most of the kids in that class. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think on a level you're right, but I think you should go teach a third grade class in Newark for a day and then come back and say, hey, like from what I understand, they cannot get teachers to go here even with higher salaries. Why do you think that is?
Because the kids are all over the place.
They're ruthless. It's bad. It's a bad learning environment. And if you call a parent and say, hey, your kid, you know, spit on me today, and a parent's like, I don't care. Like, then would you want to teach in that classroom? Like that, I think, no, that's not an actual, that's totally made up, right? But from what I understand, there's some real issues in these school districts, and there's a reason we're pumping money into trying to get teachers, and they're still not showing up. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a shortage of teachers as well. I'm sure there's a lot of people to be blamed for this.
I want to talk to someone from Newark. If they can call into the mailbag, that'd be great. Just because I want to see what's going down over there with the school system. Because across the entire state, Jimmy, do you have numbers? Are like third graders doing well in general, or is everyone kind of struggling right now? I'm just curious if it's like just a Newark thing or if like everyone's hurting.
Here we go. U.S. literacy rates by state 2023. Let's check out. Okay, so this might actually just be people in general. So let me see if I can find.
Hey, it says New Jersey fourth graders score low on literacy. Still ahead of nation.
Well, that's good that we're still ahead.
Hey.
That's some good news. A silver lining.
They still did. They did bad and we're still ahead.
Oh boy, we're in for it, guys.
Did you find anything, Jimmy, or nothing?
No, I didn't find anything.
Okay.
So that's kind of a depressing story to start with, but while it's depressing, we have to talk about the stuff going on in the state. We got to figure out ways to correct this.
What happens then? Because these kids are going to 4th grade and they can't read.
I mean,
And then the teacher in 4th grade is going to be screwed.
well, that's actually what they ended when they ended that article about talking about careers and other things. That's really what the point here is. You're building your life on a foundation of that early on education.
Yeah.
Now think about the insecurity you have as a 7th grader when you can't read, right? Like it's bigger than just, hey, you can't read. Like you could learn how to read, but there's other blocks. It's like a Jenga tower that are going to be laid on top of a foundation of reading when you're in 3rd grade. In 4th grade, maybe you're going to be reading more complex stuff, and the reading goes into your history books. And like it's just this like it's a tower of cards that's going to collapse.
I hated reading class in school. You know when they started splitting it, reading and writing?
Popcorn reading, man.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
Oh, dude, I did really bad in my reading. I still can't read well. I can read. I'm just not a good reader.
I hate reading. And
I hate public speaking and I hate reading.
I'm a good writer to some extent. I think I'm a good writer. I'm probably not actually.
I loved writing in high school. Writing was like, I mean, I always felt good at creative writing classes, but
Terrible.
reading, when we had to do like, even in high school, like the popcorn reading where they go around the class, I would skip ahead to my paragraph and just be like, all right, let me get this thing down pat. You guys do that or no?
No.
Where they're like, okay, we're going to go paragraph by paragraph or page by page, however it would work. I'd be like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I'd count the kids in front of me and I go to my page and be like, all right, I got this. No crazy words,
Oh man, my stomach dropped when they called on me to read.
I hated it.
Oh, dude, I would like choke up.
And I hate reading on this podcast, to be honest, because the pressure of having to not only properly articulate what I'm reading, like tone of voice and, pattern of like now I'm stuttering, the rate at which I read and like how quickly I read it. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I don't do it, man. I would just choke up every single time.
I think I'm getting better at it though. I like the challenge because it makes me definitely a more proficient reader.
You think you could be a news broadcaster, like with a teleprompter in front of you reading?
In the last 2 weeks, nearly
Oh,
70.
we had this combo.
That was last week.
Oh, God, wait, have you guys ever had to speak in front of a room of people with a teleprompter in front of you? So you're reading off a teleprompter to a group of people?
No, but you have, right?
Oh, I did it this Comedy Central thing back in the day,
that's what I'm
bro.
thinking of.
At the Comedy Central upfronts, I was like maybe like 19 years old in front of a room of all these execs, like all these like.
How many people were in the room?
It wasn't too crazy. It was maybe like 200 people.
That's a heck of a lot of
I
people.
know, yeah, it's nuts. But
200 people?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Not too many people.
Hold on. What you said? Not too many or 200 people?
200 people.
What were you reading a teleprompter for Comedy
It was
Central?
like it was
executives?
upfronts. It was a so like they're selling shows to different networks and stuff like that. I don't know. I was like an ambassador for YouTube. I did it because I was doing YouTube at the time. So they got me this gig. It was a good gig, but good dude. I had to like read a teleprompter. I was like, oh, it's gonna be so easy. And dude, I was like choking left and right.
It's hard.
So bad.
It's really hard.
And then there was a comedian there who went right before me, like a famous comedian. And so he warmed up the room. And I come in after this guy, and I'm just like, how am I going to follow this famous comedian who could talk to anyone? And it just, dude, it was like my worst nightmare.
It's hard. It's really
Like
it keeps moving.
You would think like reading a teleprompter would be easy. Nope. You still got to have like.
Did you at any point like freeze and lose your spot?
No, I was just like choking here and there and stuff.
And it's hard to keep like, because you're processing information you're reading, but at the same time you need to keep your voice. Like you can't sound like, this is the next headline. In the last 2 weeks, nearly 70,000. Like you can't
like,
sound like
exactly,
you're reading.
yeah.
You got to like keep some sort of.
That's the thing. I was never trained in it. Like I always made my own videos. So, like I get to this thing and like
Yeah.
they're like, who the heck did we get? This kid can't read.
He's
Was
from
it like a
Newark.
set speed,
Bad
or if
joke,
you
sorry.
like sped up, would you?
It was following me.
Okay.
Yeah, so someone was like manually following
Okay, that's
me.
pretty good. Because imagine like you start talking too fast,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, no shot.
there's a space, and you don't know what to say.
I just try to avoid stages at all costs. I can't do that stuff. That's why like we film like that's why we do a podcast, so like we're not in front of anyone.
Yeah.
I must say though, when we used to perform like to like 20,000 people back in the day, like
You know what's
that was
ridiculous?
easier.
That's like a true
that
statement.
was easier.
I just
Small
think
rooms
reading,
are harder.
Reading is hard. Reading is hard. That's a quote from the Garden State podcast for all of our
Hard reading,
our
hard
haters.
is.
Okay, let's move on to this next story. In the last 2 weeks, nearly 7,000 acres of New Jersey forest burned in 125 wildfires, with over 170 homes evacuated.
It was a wild week in the Garden State last
A
week.
wildfire week.
A wildfire week.
Yeah, so that headline kind of says it all, but I could read some of these stats because so here's the first one. On April 11th, Jimmy's Waterhole wildfire.
Jimmy, what the heck did you do? Why's your water hole on fire, bro?
I don't know,
Manchester
man.
Township, 3,859 acres burned, 75 structures threatened, 170 homes evacuated. It's 100% contained at 10 a.m. on the following Thursday, so that's 2 days later. So there's just this whole list of crazy fires going on. And I guess we shared a video on our Instagram. People were like, this is Jersey? What are we, California? Like, they can't believe a wildfire could happen in our state. And I think that's partially because you don't see it on the news.
No. Well, you do. It's just kids are not watching the news.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen, I don't watch a lot of the news, but I feel like I'm on a lot of social media.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen like a video of a wildfire in New Jersey.
I think half the problem is, though, with that kind of stuff is if it doesn't affect you, you don't pay attention to it. You become numb to it.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
seen that stuff on the news before. I think it's being put out there, but I just think most of the key people who comment on our videos are like just not watching the news.
Yeah.
They're using us for their news.
That's a great thing.
It was a really cool compliment. Like, the top comment had like 10,000 likes, and they were like,
No way.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this fire. Thanks, TikTok." And I was just like, you're welcome.
But that's what's kind of cool about TikTok, right? It exposes people to things that they wouldn't normally be interested in. So.
Exactly. Well, everyone was like, is this California? I swear this is California.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
the video is
dude,
crazy.
This is your state that you live in. And like, there was a West Milford fire too. So we had a North Jersey fire, a South Jersey fire. There's fires everywhere. And I think that the North Jersey fire, Josh, if you want to read into the West Milford one, that was the biggest wildfire in North Jersey since 2010.
Yep. That is true.
West Milford, right
West
there.
Milford, the Knaus wildfire. Canoes. West Milford Township, 972 acres, 9 homes, 1 commercial structure threatened, 5 homes evacuated, 100% containment by Saturday, April 15th. That's 3 days later. So that's another crazy one. And yeah, there's just fires happening. Is this because it's springtime and, things are kind of dry and it's just fire season? Is this fire season?
This is fire season in New Jersey. I think fire season in New Jersey normally runs from March 15th to May 15th. So
But what makes it so easy to burn right now?
I think it has lots to do with you have your longer days, drying conditions. There's not leaves on the trees just yet.
Also,
so
I think
that allows the
I saw humidity
moisture.
too.
Oh yeah, humidity super low this time of year. Breezy days we normally get in the spring, so it's a perfect combination.
But like even Josh said, it's like a lot of the time, or you said it, like if the news is not like something you're into, like you're not really paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we don't get that many wildfires like that.
I think the problem
4 major wildfires in 2 weeks. That's kind of nuts, right?
Yeah, that is a lot.
Compared to like what we normally get in Jersey.
Yeah, but I think it all depends on the year, right? I was doing some research into it, and it looks like in 2014 there was like 5 major wildfires in 1 week.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So it's happened before.
What was the one you told me about earlier? That like the huge one back in the day.
Oh, Black Saturday. So it's actually today, April 20th is the anniversary of it, the 60th anniversary. It was in 1963, 31 major wildfires, and then I think it was like 125 or something altogether over a 3-day period burned 190,000 acres.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's a lot of acres.
Let me pull up.
These forest fires that just happened, there were 7,000 acres total. I can't imagine 190,000 acres of burning land.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere that it was like 4% of the whole state was on fire.
Was that just because they're not prepared back in the day, like they are now?
I think it was just all the right conditions.
Also, like more woods back then before they started building everything.
More woods back then, more things connected, less homes. So only 7 people died.
Out of 190,000 acres, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think the potential for it still exists today to happen if all the conditions align.
What was the big fire we had like within the past 10 years?
Last year there was that the Mullica River wildfire.
How many acres?
I think it burned the containment area. I think it was like 15,000 acres.
Jeez.
That was last summer.
You got to think like, imagine having like for us, like we don't think like this because we're up here in Central Jersey. We don't get like crazy fires like they're living down south. Imagine having your home threatened when there's a wildfire that you least expect. You're like, you have to evacuate tonight. Your home might burn down. It's like, what?
Yeah, I'd be all right.
And I think what
What do you mean you'd be all right? Shut up, dude.
I think what a lot of people in New
You
Jersey
lose all your stuff? Cool.
No, just literally just get like one of those what's that brand that makes toys at Target? Hasbro slip and slides and just run it all around the house and just wet that thing up and just start slipping around the house.
Josh, do you know a trailer park burned down this week due to a fire? Entire community.
I'm
and
sorry.
you're making slip inside jokes.
I'm sorry. Josh, you remember this clip that you said?
Unreal.
You said it didn't even burn, bro.
Yeah, do it.
You don't even burn, bro.
That should be a soundbite of ours. You don't even burn, bro.
we got
Easy soundbite right there.
we got to get that. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be funny. I think as a kid, I was just like, just turn your hose on and just start spraying that thing. But I don't think people
If
realize
only that was that easy, you know?
how hot these fires get. We're talking hot.
Yeah. Hot.
So
Well, yeah, it's fire. Have you guys ever
hot,
been
hot.
next to a campfire? Now think of that, like
200 feet
7,000 acres.
tall.
Scary stuff.
Well, one thing that I think that people in New Jersey don't realize, right, is you see all these massive fires in California on the news, like in the summer. So they assume like summer's forest fire season, but in New Jersey, it's actually the spring.
It's crazy. We get all the attention first, then it goes to Cali.
Yep.
Feeling
Had to play it. All right, let's
Feeling hot.
feeling hot. All right, let's move on.
So wait, just before to conclude that story, when's forest fire season end?
I think it's supposed to end on May 15th, but I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it really hasn't rained much.
Where's those
recently.
April showers to
There's
bring May
been
flowers,
no
man?
April showers. It's crazy.
Actually, Sussex County last weekend got 5 inches of rain in one day.
Yeah.
So some parts are getting rain, most parts aren't. So,
But you know what's funny about that 5 inches of rain? When it comes like that all at once, it doesn't soak in. It doesn't do much.
That's
it
why
just
it's
runs
flash.
off.
That's why there's flash flooding.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully the fires chill out a bit. You know,
Yeah.
You guys are experts.
Yeah.
we're trying here. We got a podcast to run.
Got to read the news somehow.
Got to learn how to read somehow.
All right. This next one, we are seeing these curfews rise up all over the state of New
Another
Jersey.
curfew.
Well, not a curfew, but similarly, Garden State Plaza Mall is introducing a new chaperone rule for minors.
You gotta go hold your parents' hand or something.
Here, you gotta hold their hand. They're gonna have you on a little leash.
Put one of those leash backpacks on you if you're under 18 years old.
Yeah.
What's going on, Josh?
So the article opens with a few quotes. It says, "It's about time," one Daily Voice reader said. "I avoid that place at all costs for that reason," another Daily Voice reader said. "Always some type of altercation." So basically, the plan requires every 17 and under to be accompanied by an adult 21 or older after 5 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, with officials checking IDs of youths and supervising adults.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
So like these teenagers
Yeah.
who just mob the malls out right now.
Yep.
On weekends, if it's after 5 p.m., they gotta be there with a guardian or their parent.
Yeah.
What? Did this
And-
go into effect already?
It's starting April 28th.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that's actually insane.
It says, while the policy is generally receiving positive responses, some are questioning its effectiveness. Here's one comment. "No way they can keep this enforced. If they could afford the security to regulate this, they could afford the security to prevent this issue in the first place." I don't know. I think they'll be able to do it. I mean, the mall itself is promoting this, which tells you everything you need to know. I know somebody that works in this area in the law enforcement part of things, and they were like, "Yeah, people do not realize it's needed. The amount
Why,
of
is it
fights,
just so bad right
yeah,
now?
these kids are terrible. They just fight. They just get into tons of fights at the mall, and you're like, dude, I'm just trying to go.
Not how it used to be, Josh.
I'm just trying to make a stop at Crate and Barrel. Can you get out the way?
Yeah, like we said, like these kids are choosing to have fights in malls and get arrested. Just having a good old backyard wrestling match or something, dude.
Whatever happened to
kids
Auntie
are
Anne's?
idiots.
Whatever happened to Auntie Anne's on a Friday night? You know?
Yeah, now so as a 16-year-old, I was able to get dropped off at the mall and have a great time with my friends. Because guess what, Josh? We didn't fight. We
Yeah.
didn't throw our food all over the place.
Yeah.
We didn't steal things. Now these kids are just ruining for themselves.
Yeah, it's a change in the mall culture.
I don't know. See, I'm on both sides here because I get it. These kids are insane and they're out of control, right? So
Yeah.
we gotta control the mall a bit. But then I think about when we were kids, dude.
You always say this, but
it's true.
you and I never got in a brawl at the mall.
Exactly. These kids don't know how to control themselves.
Yeah, it's about time we lay down the law. I say chaperones are a great idea. I don't care. I don't care if people in the comments come for me. If you can't go to the mall on a Saturday night with your family, okay?
No, I agree. I don't want to.
You're going with you have a couple of kids. You want to go take them to the mall, get some food, and you see a fight. What is that garbage?
Yeah, it's not cool.
Get out of the mall. You're not welcome here. Is that harsh?
No. So my thing
safe.
is, if it's like a crew of 20 kids, 20 16-year-olds show up to the mall, right? How are they going to enforce this rule? That was great.
Yeah, I just had to fill my water.
Yo, top me off.
Yeah, I got
We're
you.
just halfway through. It's your water.
I got you, bro. How are
Thank
they going to... Yeah, would you like some more?
No, it's good.
You know how they're going to enforce it?
How?
They're going to walk up to him and go,
The
hey,
one
guys.
security guard at the mall.
No, because that... you've been to Garden State Plaza. There's always cops there. Always.
Are there?
Absolutely.
I didn't know if there's cops on duty there. Or if it's just mall cops.
100%.
A facility that size, they always have cops there.
Okay.
I could guarantee you.
So what? They're just going to...
They're just going to walk around and go, hey, what are you guys doing here? Who are you with? And they say, no one. Okay, you got to leave. That's it.
So I saw actually some pushback on this. So some people were just like, that's cool. It'll work for Garden State Plaza, but then you know what that's going to do? It's going to push all the kids to Paramus Park right across the street, pretty much.
Nice.
All the kids are going to go to these other neighboring malls, and it's going to be twice as bad.
Nah, I bet those other malls are going to enforce the same thing.
You think Paramus Park is going to enforce that, dude? No.
They're going to see
Paramus Park's a mess.
They're going to see these 17-year-old kids with the ramen noodle hair, their hair right in front of their forehead. You know how every kid has that haircut?
The Josh Richards.
They're going to all come walking in with that. They're going to be 20 kids deep, and they're going to be nah, you got to go. And get a haircut while you're at it.
I went to Paramus Park Mall the other day. Paramus Park Mall is the Woodbridge Mall of Bergen County. It's the abandoned poor mall that's right next to Garden State Plaza. You go to Garden State Plaza if you want a nicer mall, which is kind of falling apart now, but Paramus Park is a joke. So that place is going to be a zoo now with all these kids going there instead of Garden State Plaza.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't been to that mall. I don't think I've only been to GSP, and GSP that's a nice mall.
Okay, I did a poll. Did you see my poll on the Garden State Instagram?
Yeah, I got it wrong. I thought it was Newport.
You guessed Newport. Jimmy guessed Rockaway. You guys were both wrong.
No, I knew it wasn't Rockaway Mall.
I don't know. I've never been to Rockaway Mall. Have you?
Yeah.
Never. No.
Many times. No, it's like Woodbridge Mall. It feels exactly like Woodbridge Mall, except it's actually very eerily similar in my mind to Woodbridge Mall for some reason.
Interesting.
Same vibe. Same as Livingston Mall.
I haven't been there either.
I
gotta go to these malls, dude.
These mid-sized malls that are dying. It feels exactly the same, but
I just spilled on myself. Shoot. What are the consequences if these kids get caught? Is it just I'm guessing it's a written warning at first? Because I didn't see anything about that.
No, it just says Wesley Rebes, the senior general manager at the mall, said they implemented the policy to ensure everyone feels comfortable. We are committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment for our guests. After careful consideration, we have decided to implement a parental guidance. We want to emphasize that all guests are welcome, unless they don't have a parent.
If there's just going to be a verbal warning, the kids are still going to show up.
I think it's going to work. I genuinely think it's going to be fine.
April 28th. I'm going to go there after April 28th on a Saturday night. Because you know me, I love going to malls on Saturday nights. Yep. And I'm gonna go do some investigating. I'm gonna do some investigating, guys.
Wow, some real journalism for once on this podcast.
Point out. I'm gonna be like, that kid looks 16. Where's your parent? Where's your guardian? Excuse me, sir. I'm gonna have a pad and paper. I should just dress up like a cop.
Or you're gonna dress up like a Karen.
Yeah, you could do the Karen haircut. You have enough hair.
You guys see now. You guys are flipping this whole thing.
That John and Kate plus 8 haircut. It's
pretty fire, actually.
You could do it.
Scene.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it pans out all right. I think it's gonna work.
It's interesting. Can't wait to see what happens there.
I think, where are these kids' parents anyway? Your kid goes to the mall and gets in a fight and comes home. You're not like, hey, what'd you do?
But at the same time, dude, it's like the 1% of kids getting into fights.
Sure. All right, let's move on to the next story.
Okay.
So we've been talking a lot about the whales here in New Jersey. There's Whale Lives Matter posters going up all around the state because whales are dying, and there are two sides to this whole debate, and we've rehashed this 60 different ways, and people hate when we talk about it. But the state of New Jersey is making moves on the whale front. New Jersey is funding the study of how offshore wind impacts the whales.
So they're actually going to look into this whole thing.
Yeah, they're going to allocate $8.5 million to study the potential impact, basically, of this sonar mapping that's been going on.
What the heck? How does it cost $8.5 million to do a study?
Because
I never understood that.
I'm sure you got to get a big boat and you got to go out. I don't know.
Got to employ people, benefits.
$8.5 million.
Dude,
Are you kidding? You know how much boats cost to run and operate?
Not $8.5 million for one. We're
but
talking like a little rowboat here, not like a little rudder boat.
because
we're not talking about like a sailboat.
A rowboat out
No, I'm
in
not
the middle of the
it was
ocean.
just a little rudder boat, Jimmy. What are they gonna bring? Like a big tank out there?
Yeah.
guys, that's not that serious.
I'm just saying 8.5 million is kind of. I want to know where this money's going. That's all.
This is what you sound like.
The Jersey Transit is the absolute worst.
Same.
This is so stupid, bro.
That's what you just sounded like.
Whose money is that?
It's your money and my money, bro.
Exactly. I don't want to be spending it on studying wind shores.
All right.
Offshore. I don't know.
All right. Well, look. So here's what let's get through this article together. Let's all breathe. You two can hug it out later, and then we'll see what we get out of it, okay? So here's what it says. As dead whales and dolphins continue to show up on the New Jersey beaches, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says there's no scientific data linking those deaths to work related to offshore wind projects. So that's the argument that's being made. The wind project has nothing to do with it. But New Jersey and the State Board of Public Utilities is committing $8.5 million to study the potential impact from mapping the migration patterns of marine life to listening for whale sounds off the Jersey shore. The research will be carried out by multiple organizations. So really what's going on is it's not even just about the mapping. Overall, they're going to be studying these whales to try to figure out what's going on. Why are they dying? So
Cool.
I'm wondering, I'm not going to say that. I'm trying to have level-headed takes because, yeah. So it says deployment and maintenance of a whale detection buoy. So these are some of the things that we're going to be spending the money on. A whale detection buoy. It's
pretty cool.
Off the coast of Atlantic City.
See, there's my answer. Now I'm happy. Okay, we're buying whale detection buoys. Awesome. Sign me up for that app. I want to know when a whale pops up.
The buoy will listen for whales, and detections will be reviewed to use to inform NOAA's slow zones for right whales, programs to migrate, risks associated with vessel strikes, and future construction noise. I'm wondering why the state is doing this, because the state has been pretty adamantly against the idea that it's related to the wind turbines, but maybe this is a way to get people to shut up and be like, hey, we're going to study
probably
it. And
over everyone just arguing about it. Well, you have all the mayors down south. Like I think it was like 20 something mayors from these shore towns. They wrote a letter to Murphy in the state being like, hey, we want answers. Give us answers. So it looks like they're actually doing some research into it.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what happens here. Every time we talk about this, people get mad at us. There's a lot of whale lovers and a lot of whale haters and a lot of green energy, wind turbine haters, and I don't know. The world's become so complicated, man.
You know, I love whales.
Let's just burn some coal. Just make it simple again. No, yeah, I love the whales too, man. I mean, like, what majestic beasts they are, right?
And dolphins too.
Dolphins are awesome.
They're washing up left and right.
They're washing up.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, hey, dude, I want answers too. Hopefully this gets us the answers we're looking for. So, an environment.
Sorry.
So this is the next part of the article. An environmental DNA or eDNA study is a relatively new, non-invasive approach for monitoring species that are protected or otherwise important to maintaining the ecological integrity of coastal waters. So here's what I'm wondering. They're trying to figure all this out. Why are the professors at Rutgers not reaching out to us?
Because they're scared of us.
Why is Captain Jeff, we want to talk. I don't think.
Captain Jeff of the Whale Watchers never hit us up.
I think he just got busy.
He was so cool.
I don't blame him at all. But Rutgers, you guys are all professors. I have a theory on that.
Well, they're all striking right now.
I think
they don't have time for us.
They have plenty of time to talk to us. I think it's interesting that a state-funded university would not want to speak out against state-funded business.
Very interesting.
See, I got to stop. I'm getting off the soapbox. People are saying, I read our...
What was one comment? Who cares?
I've been going through our reviews and people are like, oh, great podcast, but I hate when they get on the soap. All right.
That was one guy.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Haters,
dude. It's a good thing.
You get your feelings hurt too easily.
Me?
Soft.
I just, you know what? Yeah, you guys are right. You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. I hate the whales.
So
Burn the whales. Kill the whales. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna clip that just for like one clip. What if I just put that on Instagram?
Burn the whales.
Boom. Roasted. See what happens on the internet. See the internet explode. That could be our road to getting something viral.
NJ.
We're just putting that clip.
NJ.com's going to clip that.
There's that one sound bite. It's like da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. The first clip is gonna be like, kill all the whales, burn all the whales, and it's gonna be shots of all the dead whales. It's gonna be your face just laughing. Nothing. Oh my gosh, I could ruin this podcast so easily. Oh man, scary stuff. I would never do that.
That'd be bad for me, but it would be pretty
It would
funny.
be bad for the entire podcast. Nah, man, I love the whales. Let's hopefully let's find some solutions here.
Yeah.
I don't want any more dead whales.
So New Jersey is introducing a bill to educate our youth on risks of compulsive gambling.
Everyone is promoting online gambling now.
It's becoming a big issue, and this state has been
Well, that's the thing though.
really allowing a lot of people to do it.
You got to be 18 and older, right?
You have to be 18 legally to gamble, yes.
But when you're on your phone, who knows whose account you're using, right?
I don't know how that works.
Well, that's kind of
But-
like, it's like Facebook, right? Like everyone had a Facebook account before. I forget what, I think it'd be like 16 to sign up. Everyone had one at 13. You
No,
just made
but-
a fake birthday.
No, it's different though because
different, yeah, it's legal.
I've dabbled into
Illegal gambling?
No, illegal. You have to put your social security in on these sites.
okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confused of how kids are getting it. But nonetheless, left and right, everywhere you go, you see signs all over the radio. Everyone's promoting gambling.
Yep.
And you wonder, like, I listen to 101.9 a lot, sports radio. I love it. I love sports radio. But dude, it's crazy because it's like every other ad is like a FanDuel ad or like a
Yep.
DraftKings ad. And then the next ad is like a gambling recovery ad. It's like, if you have a gambling addiction, call this number right here. It's just like, which one are you guys promoting?
It's all vices. Our culture has become all vices. We invented the vape to get rid of cigarettes, and now everybody needs a vape or a patch to get rid of the vape.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's addicted to everything. I said it before on the podcast. If we could go tell our grandfather's generation that in 60 years, all these 19-year-olds are going to be addicted to betting on their phone, pornography, and vaping nonstop, they'd be like, you guys are done.
Yeah.
Although the cigarettes, they probably would have been like, yeah, I mean,
That would be like, hell yeah.
maybe. They probably been like, that's kind of par for the course. But yeah, I think to your guys' point about can they gamble? No, they can't gamble. But the reason you have these, remember in high school they would do those assemblies?
Yeah. No, again, and also like once you're 18, you're still in high school. You can still like start betting.
Yeah, I think the point of an assembly is you're trying to educate kids on the dangers of things they're going to encounter as adults. Mm-hmm. Will they listen? Probably not. But I guess it doesn't. It's still worth talking about. I'm glad somebody's having the
Also,
conversation.
like some of these kids, they're so young, they don't know how to manage their money. So think about it: a kid gets a nice paycheck. Oh, let me go use it and gamble.
Yeah,
Lose all my money and then get addicted to it. It's crazy.
Well, gambling is dangerous, but a lot of people ruin their lives gambling. It's like any other
Lots of scary stories, dude.
any other vice where there's some people that do it just for a little bit of fun and then they move on from it, and there's some people that their whole life gets ruined.
Yeah.
They input everything they have and they get into debt, and then they, it gets dark.
It's a dark path, bro.
Not something to play with. So it says a bill being introduced in the legislature would require New Jersey school districts that include grades 9 to 12 to provide instruction to kids on the risks of compulsive gambling as a part of the implementation of New Jersey student learning standards in comprehensive health and physical education. So what does the bill entail? The bill A5308 is sponsored by Assemblyman Ralph Caputo, Assemblyman Dan R. Benson, and Assemblywoman Mila Jacey. The instruction shall include, but not be limited to, information on the dangers of gambling addiction, taking risks with personal finances or personal assets, and the probability versus predictability, which is interesting that they included that. I guess it makes sense. They're making a logical argument to the kids of like, hey, the probability of you becoming broke a lot higher than you becoming a millionaire. Mm-hmm. So the Commissioner of Education shall provide school districts with sample learning activities and resources designed to inform students of the potential risks of compulsive gambling and develop a training module on compulsive gambling for high school teachers to help local school districts in fulfilling the required instruction. Now, I'm going to say outright,
I think it's too late.
it's not going to work. And here's why it's not going to work. Because all these 17-year-old boys, what do they listen to? The Nelk Boys. Barstool. And what do all these companies advertise? Gambling,
everyone,
gambling,
bro.
gambling.
Gambling ads. Every single post is a gambling ad. It's like that's why all these kids are getting into it, bro.
Yeah.
Because their favorite creators are just throwing it in their face.
Yeah. I saw a video of
like,
Drake. I saw a video of, did you see that video of Drake and Steve Will Do It?
No.
I think I saw that. Maybe I made it up. And they were playing some gambling app and they put like $400,000 down and won like $2 million.
Yeah, they make it look like, oh, this is so normal to do.
And it's like, yeah, well, see how that works out for you, regular middle class person. Hope that works for you.
Even like everywhere you walk, like I was on the train platform the other day and there's DraftKings ads everywhere. It's like these gambling companies are throwing so much money into ads. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's only going to get worse from here on out for these kids.
Yeah, it's another fire we're gonna have to put out, and
well, it also comes back to regulation, like how parents should be monitoring their kid if they're under 18. What are you doing on your cell phone?
What
are you looking at?
But I don't think the point is back to what I was saying before. I don't think the point is to stop a 17-year-old from gambling because legally, like you said, they can't. I think the point is kids are being kind of the culture. Culture is powerful. You go on YouTube and watch videos. It's powerful. You go watch your favorite performer. You watch your favorite, like nowadays, the celebrities for these kids are YouTubers. Yep. When for us, it would have been celebrities, like movie stars and stuff. And the celebrity power of these people is so powerful that they can influence these kids to do this stuff. This is why I always loved Mr. Beast because the guy was just not ever really a controversial dude. I feel like. I mean, I know there's
controversy now.
Bad timing right now, but like his channel was always like you wouldn't see a gambling ad from Mr. Beast, right?
No, because he was just targeting children.
Yeah, like kid friendly, like good, clean,
bro,
fun.
When we went to American Dream Mall, dude, for the Mr. Beast burger thing,
yeah.
Bro, it's all kids. Like me and Jimmy felt old.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are old. You're old men.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I'm not watching. Like I do watch Mr. Beast, but like I'm not like a fan. Like I would have been back in the day.
I'm a fan of Mr. Beast. I think his videos.
I just
are awesome.
watch golf YouTube videes, dude. That's it.
Tell him to bring out my putter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, golf is good. Golf is. We need to get. That's the okay. So we were talking about negative things for the next generation. A few positive things. I want to give you two. I've noticed to leave this story on a light note. One, the next generation is obsessed with chess right now.
Great.
Like I know 7th graders that are filthy at chess.
Let's freaking go.
I was playing this 7th grader the other day and he was teaching me like all these gambits. He was teaching me about gambits and all these different openings, like the Spanish opening. Like, do you know all those openings?
Yes, sir. I play chess every single day.
So what are the different openings?
I always use the Lopez.
So like, I just think it was so, he's like
the Spanish.
this little kid and he's destroying me at chess. And I'm like, can you just give me some tips? And he's like, yeah, so there's these different openings and I don't know. He just was laying all this stuff out. It was really funny to talk about, but
you should get into it, Josh. It's seriously a really fun game to like really unwind and get your mind off of everything for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like I could bring a chessboard over to your house and we could play sometime.
Okay. I'd love to.
Just teach your daughter too while she's young.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start her very young.
And golf too. Get her into golf. You're going to go broke, but yeah, you should definitely get your daughter into golf.
Golf makes me so... Dude, I was better at golf in 7th grade than I am now. I'll always say this.
Your body's breaking down, bro.
Well, I used to just have such... I would go to the driving range in the summertime and I could just drive. Everything I hit went straight. Not crazy far, but like straight. I just had a great swing. I go to play 18 holes now and everything I hit, I slice.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
The golf club.
Tell him to bring out my putter.
All right, so let's go on to this last story of the evening. In West Long Branch, New Jersey, a pickup truck driver was pulled over after their sound system shook surrounding vehicles with 28 speakers and 25 subwoofers.
Look at, if you guys are listening, look this story up. This dude had this massive sound system.
Yo,
that can't be good for his ears.
This cannot be good for you.
Look at the rig. This guy's
oh my gosh.
My brother has driving with a rig that looks straight out of the Jellyfish Jam.
Where was this in Jersey, Josh?
This was in West Long Branch. So West Long Branch police said they received a number of complaints from people reporting that they had heard several vehicles along Monmouth Road blasting music late on the night of April 15th. A patrol officer who later responded to the patrol area to patrol in the area said that he saw a vehicle heading down the road at midnight. The driver was allegedly playing music so loud that he shook the police officer's patrol vehicle. When police pulled over the driver, the officer found that the truck had a stereo system complete with 28 speakers and 25 subwoofers and a number of amplifiers. Following the stop, West Long Branch police said that the driver violated a borough ordinance and was cited for unnecessary noise disturbance. There were other vehicles out there at the time. The truck with the speakers was riding along Monmouth Road. So this guy...
I love how this was at midnight, too.
What is...
Like, you gotta be, like, come on, dude. You know what you're doing at midnight. Like, playing loud music out of 28 speakers. He's trying to piss everyone off.
I like playing my music loud. In the summertime, like this week, the weather was warm. You roll the windows down. You play your music loud. Loud enough that I can, like, my ears don't hurt afterwards. But loud music is fun, right? But this loud, I don't get it.
This guy has, like, a music festival in the bed of his truck, bro.
Like, it just seems kind of...
I've never seen anything look that ridiculous looking. That's so funny.
That's such a rig, man.
Like, what do you think was going through his head when he's like, I'm going to design this sound system for the bed of my truck?
I think he was like, this is going to be so cool,
He's
man.
like, everyone's going to look at me like I'm the man.
Yeah, he's like, people are going to look at me. That's literally what he was thinking.
Meanwhile, I sometimes like if I'm driving with my windows down and I'm listening to music, if I come to like red light, I'll like turn my music down.
You're that
so
kind
I
of
don't
guy.
want people to know what I'm listening to.
Yeah, I think I'm guilty of
It's
that.
not that
I've
it's like
done that.
anything embarrassing or anything, but it's just like
I'm
I don't
guilty
know.
of that too. I've like brought down my volume
Yeah.
at like a traffic light just because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, what if there's, I don't know, what if I'm bothering someone with myself?
Yeah.
You guys with your morals being raised with actual values and consideration for other human beings. So
I think it also
strange.
depends on the genre. Like I'm listening to hardcore music, like something like death metal and screams. Like I don't want like a mom and like a child next to me to just be like
Subject to that.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, the Drewski video where he's the old guy on the motorcycle, that kind of sums up, like those guys are allowed to get away with it.
Well, yeah, that's basically what this guy is doing right here with his pickup truck.
The old timers that want to cruise around and they want to listen
This
to
guy was
music.
old, right?
No, this is like a young guy.
Was he young?
He's
Does
wearing
it say his age?
He's still wearing skinny jeans.
Where? I thought this was like maybe a 55-year-old dude.
No, dude, look at the photo. They blurred his face, but you could tell he's like...
really? That kills the story for me.
He's definitely a skinny beanie kid.
Oh, I thought this was like an old head, bro.
No, it's some young guy.
Dang.
I closed my tab. Hold on, I'm getting it right now for you. Here you go. Look, there he is.
I mean, I don't know. How could you tell? That could be dad bod status.
Bro, he's wearing skinny jeans and what look like some sort of Vans, and he's got a sleeve on his arm. This guy's definitely, my guess...
It doesn't say any
28.
information?
No, it doesn't give his name.
Dang it. I don't know, Josh. That can go
Josh,
either way.
look at the stickers on the back of his truck.
Anything good?
He's got well, there's not a Salt Life sticker, but he has like all the probably all the parts on his truck, all the stickers on the back. I don't know.
Oh, it's a South Jersey thing, dude.
F-150 sticker. Yeah, this guy's in his 20s.
You think so? So all he got was a written warning?
That's it, man.
Dude, it must be nice. He's probably just roaming around right now. As long as it's before, 10 o'clock, the noise curfew?
That's probably why he does it, because he knows they're not going to do anything.
Well, at the same time, I guess during the day, is there like a certain limit to how much volume you can make on the road?
Yeah, I'm sure decibel. Well, not on the road, but in townships, they all have decibel ratings. Like you can play music up to certain decibels.
Like in a downtown area?
Yeah, it's probably like 80 decibels or whatever.
Oh, snap. So if you're too loud in the downtown, you'll get like...
Yeah, I mean, because the township has to be able to have some standard of what is and isn't allowed. Like if I'm having a party in my backyard, a barbecue, right? Let's just say, and the town ordinance is at 8 p.m., you have to be keeping it under 80 decibels or under whatever it is at 8 o'clock, 50 decibels. Mm-hmm. And I'm pumping music, and someone calls the cops go, show up, and your music's loud. They have grounds to be like, hey, you got to turn that down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're going to ticket you. They'll just tell you to turn it down, but I don't know.
I want to be in Monmouth County seeing this guy roll up. I want to see this beast of a truck in person. It's kind of glorious.
I don't know, but it is kind of interesting how if you live in a neighborhood where you're near people, you got to be considerate of sound.
Yeah, and it's just like, come on, man. Why do you want to be that guy that just creates all the buzz in town? Like, come on. It's kind of embarrassing at that point.
Yeah.
It's like there's a
But
dude.
people thrive on
Dude,
that.
there's a dude around here who drives around with a train horn and starts.
Yeah, I hate that.
bro. It's like, come on. It's like that's not even cool. No one's
Yeah.
looking at you, mean like he's the man.
It's
Like,
embarrassing.
dude, what are you doing? It's just it's embarrassing. Why do people do that?
Because they want to get attention.
It's awful.
If it were up to me,
Bunch of losers.
straight to jail.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's not up to me. But if it were up to me, yeah, I'd put him in jail. But it's not up to me. So
But
you
if
know
it
what I
were?
say?
Put him in jail.
Put him in jail.
Gabagool.
All right, with that is going to wrap up the Garden State podcast for this week. Boys, any closing thoughts for the listeners?
I'm just trying to think about what's going down this weekend.
I have nothing planned this weekend, and I'm so excited for it.
No Philly.
Nope, nothing.
Wow. Oh, I actually have plans.
What are your plans?
I'm going to Yankee game on Friday.
Nice.
Heck
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
First time going to Yankee game all year.
If you're at the Yankee game and you want to come see Josh Chomik, what section are your seats in?
I got $16 tickets, dude.
Oh, so you're up top.
with fees, $16.
Wow.
I'm like behind home plate, all the way at the top. But at Yankee Stadium, you see everything perfectly.
Good.
So I'm hoping for a win. We'll talk about it next week on the podcast. But yeah, doing that, going to be a good weekend. I think it's looking up.
Sounds like a good one, man.
You guys got any plans? Jimmy, you said you don't. Josh, you
No,
guys?
plans.
We'll be together.
I'll see you at some point, probably. No big plans. I just,
Oh, I think we'll hit a diner at some point this weekend.
maybe I got the baby shower thing, and we'll see each other at some point.
Yeah.
So, well, with that, thank you all for listening to another episode of the Garden State Podcast. We love all of our listeners. We're grateful you guys keep tuning in. It's because of your support, viewers like you. Like, remember when PBS Kids used to say that? What do they say?
Something. I just know viewers like you.
PBS Kids, something, thanks to viewers like you. After Arthur, they used to say that.
Yep.
Classic.
Arthur.
And then a new episode come on, and the theme song would come back on, Ziggy Marley. I don't know. I just miss those
Good
years.
times.
Well, thank you to viewers like you guys. If you want to mail us something, we have a P.O. Box. P.O. Box 1613. That's Cranford, New Jersey. 07016. That's 07016. Can it hear us, you think?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. If you want to mail us something, or if you want to call into the mailbag, the number for that is
908 67 99 99 3.
Thank you all so much for listening.
You guys should leave a review if you guys can.
Can you leave us 5-star reviews, please?
Rate the podcast 5 stars. Write a nice comment as a review. I think it's just cool. I like reading reviews.
Yeah,
it's rare that we get one.
It's really exciting when we get one.
So yeah, go do that and buy some merch.
All right. Bye.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.